Hello students, the last class we discussed about the flower, right? About the stamen, the pistil, the pollen grain and the embryo sac. And today class we are discussing about the endosperm, embryo, seed and the fruit. Okay, before the endosperm we are talking about the ovule, okay, which is also called as megasporangium. Where does the ovule is present? Ovule is present inside the ovary of the flower. Okay, so the ovule, if you take, what does it is consist of? It consists of a two end, which is called chalazal end as well as micropylar end, and it is consist of a layer called as integuments. Okay, inside that you can see a cell which is called as nucellus. Okay, and then you can see a embryo sac. Okay, embryo sac. Then this ovule is connected with the stalk called as funicles. Okay, next we are going for endosperm. The endosperm, before the endosperm we have to learn about the two definition, that is pollination and double fertilization. How will you define pollination? Pollination is nothing but a transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma of the flower, and that is called as pollination. Okay, what is double fertilization? You can see a double, okay, two time fertilization take place. Fertilization means fusion. Okay, fusion. Now, okay, when the pollen grain which is comes and sit on the stigma, so further development take place. The pollen grain which consists of two gametes, okay, two gametes. So the development take place like this till it reaches to the ovary, okay, where the ovule is there. Okay, so now what happens? Those two male gamete, what happens? It fuses with the egg cell as well as it fuses with one more with the nuclei. Okay, and that is called as double fertilization. And here you can see in the endosperm. Okay, so one fusion is here. Okay, there are two polar nuclei where they're here, now forms into a single cell. Okay, and here already you saw here synergid cells. Okay, between that zygote, how does zygote forms? One egg cell with the one, okay, male gamete. Okay, and this is the structure where you can see further cells like primary endosperm cells, nearby cells. Okay, and then primary endosperm nucleus, okay, which is called as PEN, and then degenerating antipodal cell, doesn't have any function. Okay, so now finally, okay, we are moving on next part, which is called embryo. After the embryo, seed. After the seed, fruit formation take place. Now we are starting with the embryo. Now how does the embryo will form? There is a stages. Okay, there are stages. The stages like globular shape, heart shape as well as mature embryo. Now when you take this, after the zygote formation, you can see here, okay, after the zygote formation, what happens? The next, the cell will divide. Okay, divide by mitosis or meiosis. Okay, the stages of division. Then it divides and forms into a shape of cell called globular shape embryo, and then further forms into a heart shape embryo. So here the cells will be divided into two parts like this. The upper part suspensor cell, down part which is called basal cell. Basal cell will divide and finally forms into a mature embryo. This mature embryo consists of radicle, cotyledons and then plumule. Radicle which forms into root further, and the plumule forms into a stem or a shoot. Okay, so next, so now after the stage development, so we are looking for dicot and monocot embryo structure. Okay, so this dicot embryo, so as we know that the example for dicotyledon plants and monocotyledon plants, right? So now, so with that, how does that embryo which is looks like? See, it is consist of plumule, which consists of cotyledons, cylindrical body called hypocotyle, radicle, and then root cap. Monocot embryo consists of scutellum, coleoptile, shoot apex, epiblast, radicle, root cap, and then coleoriza. As I told earlier, radicle forms into a root. Okay. Then after the embryo, we are studying about formation of seed. So the development in turn forms into like this. Dicot seed consists of bean-shaped structure, two partition which are called cotyledons, which is cover called as seed coat, presence of radicle, epicotyle, and then hypocotyle. So same wise, monocot seed consists of the outer layer which is called seed coat, also it is known as a fruit wall, and then aileron layer which is a proteinaceous layer, okay, endosperm, scutellum, coleoptile, plumule, radicle, and then coleoriza. So this is what about the seed. Okay, the seed afterwards, which matures, which divides and forms into a structure called as fruit. Fruit is a part of seed which in turn develops. Okay, then it is consist of outer layer called epicarp, mesocarp, then inside endocarp, and then you can see a seed. This is what for today. In case you find any difficulty or doubts, please drop me a message so that I can clear your doubts. Okay, otherwise you can google it. Okay, you can google it and then you can find out the definition or other some more examples. Okay, please give us a feedback in a personal message. Okay, and then all the things which I have given you, okay, I have given as a message to you, please go through it, draw the diagram in your notes, okay, and then you can learn it better more for the exam purpose. Okay, thank you for watching, students.